Man, shout out that boy Clayton, man. For those of you who don't know, got a special package on the way. Can't wait to debut it. Won't be debuting it this week, but next week. Shout out that boy Clayton. Can't wait for him to get here. But hey, we ain't here to talk about Clayton, man. We got massive day today. We got some Pickem to talk about. Man, the finale of the regular season of college football is this weekend. We kick it off with a Thursday game. We got some NFL plays and bets to talk about, college football plays and bets to talk about. Wow. It just, I think it just hit me like fully getting on the show. Because at first, I'll admit, like, I haven't even thought about it too much. That, like, because it was just a few weeks ago where we were talking about, like, hey, it's week 14, man. In a few weeks. It's crazy to think the season's over. And, like, wow. It's actually week 14 now. So we got this week, rivalry week, conference championship week next week, Army-Navy, and then I think there's like another 2 weeks off until the championship teams start, and then we got some bowl games going along with that. It's just, man, week 14. Week 14. But before we get into week 14, you know how we roll around here. We got to break down the NFL week 13 slate. A lot of games to talk about. Everyone's in action. We even got believe it or not, we got 3 games on Thanksgiving, man. Can't wait to talk about it. Without any further ado, let's just hop right in, man. I think we're ready to go for some Pick'em. Let's do it. So looking at Pick'em, like I said, this is our score from last week. Right there, man. We are doing pretty good. If I was to switch any of these, maybe put a lower number on Houston, but I don't know who's... Yeah, like with an 8. I don't know who... Would I flip it with a 7? Would I flip that with a 6? I don't know. Man, sorry. Quick call from my boy Rowan about some, man. I'm excited, man. Got a fun package coming. Can't wait to share it all with you guys. It's a little bit of a passion project for Stay Down Sports. Stay Down Greatness. We got something we're working on in the weeds right now that hopefully will be ready to debut to the people here soon. But like I said, I'll at least be debuting on the show. Won't be for the people to get, but... Man, I can't wait. I'm really excited to show everyone about this, but let's lock back in. Like I said, we were talking about maybe flipping a number with Houston. If I do anything, it's maybe Philly. Put a 5 there, but even then, like, those 3 points put me in 3rd instead of 4th. I just don't think that, wow. I got some interesting news about the Chiefs to talk about here in a minute. But yeah, like I said, not a bad week at all. Shout out my boy Rowan from the 2-week hiatus to the penthouse. I wanted to make some jokes on the show, but I didn't. Hey, boy just needed 2 weeks to lock back in. Comes right back to it, and hey, guess what? That boy in first place. Because, I mean, I guess it took him 2 weeks. All right, 2 week little. Because, yeah, if you look, week 9, 10, that boy just didn't pick. But it don't matter, because week 12, that boy a winner. But yeah, now looking at the overview, yet again, shout out my boy Rowan. Look at this. Danny reclaiming the lead in first. We got Mel second, Keith third, Shot in the Dark fourth, Doctor Defense fifth. Your boy in 6th. And hey, we're I'm not gonna say we're starting to separate from the pack at all, but we were in 9th like 2 weeks ago. We're now 17 points away from 9th place, 18 from 10th. I mean, that's really good for us. I mean, we just need to keep that. Just need to keep on going up. My goal, I think I said, was to pass. I think my goal was to get in like 4th. I mean, we didn't get into 4th, but we closed the gap even more now. So now it's, yeah, what is that? 4 points away from being in 4th, and we're 22 points away from 3rd. I mean, everything's right there in front of us at this point in the season. So without any further ado, with the full slate this weekend, let's hop into some games, man. Starting off, Detroit, Chicago. Yeah, Detroit looks good. That probably will end up becoming a 16. Don't be too shocked, but I think that Detroit, they've had some demons with these these Thanksgiving games. Not winning, not fully covering, anything like that. So I'm looking for this to be a potential opportunity to where I like Detroit to potentially cover in this game and win. We'll talk about it a little bit later. Now, I'll admit, this next game with Drew Lock starting, definitely going to put a low number on this, because now that Tommy DeVito might be out due to some injury, Drew Lock starting changes things a bit, because the boy can sling it a little bit, so that does have me a little bit worried, but man, with how bad Commanders looked last week, I mean, you think that Dallas has to win this game, right? And I'll admit, it just sucks to come on this show high-horsing about our New York Giants under with Tommy DeVito just for Drew Lock to be announced the next day. That feels like a little bit of a, hey, boy, you thought you had it? I still think they'll finish with the under, but man, that boy Drew Lock being in there makes me a little bit more nervous than Tommy DeVito about this game. I will say that. I was ready to come into this show and actually be like, I guess, hey, we're going to take Dallas. I like the way they looked last game and everything, but yeah, I liked it. With Drew Lock there, still going to take Dallas. We're just going to have to put a small number on them Cowboys. Green Bay, Miami. I'm actually going to probably put a lower number on this one game as well. They've all talked about, like, hey, we're excited to play in the cold. We're excited to bounce back from the cold. You actually got to do it in the cold. So I'm, I don't know. I don't think I can take the Dolphins in that one. Kansas City, Las Vegas. I will admit, I've actually been very tempted to take the Las Vegas spread just because I was going to come out here and be like, I don't think the Chiefs cover the rest of the games. They aren't covering the rest of the games their season. They're just trying to win and get to the playoffs, blah, 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 blah. Isaiah Pacheco. Potentially coming back. He is on track to play Friday for the first time since week 2. I don't know. Obviously, it's not going to be a heavy amount of snaps, but him coming back, I think, helps out the Chiefs a lot, especially with their ground game. Him and Kareem Hunt. That's going to be nice. Wow. Yeah, I think we might end up having to take that spread as well now. Chargers, Atlanta. I do like the Chargers here, coming off a tough loss. Being a tough team. Lombardi, I thought, brought it up best. He talked about teams playing the Atlanta Falcons playing tougher teams that seem to struggle a little bit. So I personally think the Chargers are a tough team. So I'm very excited for them in the spot. Losing J.K. Dobbins, he's going to be considered week to week. Already announced out against the Falcons, which tells you it's probably 3 to 4 weeks. Now, like by week to week, they mean, hey, in 2 or 3 weeks, you're going to be week to week for sure. Because, yeah, they're already announcing him out. I'm assuming that knee sprain is a little bit worse than we thought. But at the same time, if he's going to be back, that's at least good news. Cincinnati, Pittsburgh. This is probably going to be a 1 point. I mean, this feels like a must win for Cincinnati. I mean, if they don't win this game, their season's like it's already probably over 4-7. I mean, this is the dagger of it. Pittsburgh coming off a tough Thursday night loss as well, though. I mean, that's gonna be a tough one to decide. I truly don't know. Oh, that's gonna be tough, man. Because I want to lean. That might be pick the Bengals, put a 1 on it, bet the Steelers special. This is probably gonna be that situation, so we're gonna have to take a peek at that Steelers special. Minnesota, Arizona. Gotta take Minnesota here. Fuck you, Kyler. I'm just kidding. That sucked, though. I don't know. When they're underdogs for whatever reason, though, the Cardinals play really, really good. When they're favorites, they just can't seem to get it done. Kyler is either really good or really bad. Especially this season. Usually, he's never... I'm not going to say never. That's a bit of a stretch. He hasn't been consistent at all this year. It's been weird. He's had... very, very roller coaster righty, and it's not been the greatest, so I'm going to be on Minnesota there in that game. Indy, New England. Give me them Colt boys, man, on the bounce back. Seattle, New York Jets. I got to take Seattle here, especially after winning the last game out. Won't be shocked if the Jets win this, but I can't pick. We aren't picking the Jets probably the rest of the year. I can tell you that right now. We probably are not picking the Jets the rest of the year, even though I do like Aaron Rodgers. Washington, Tennessee. I'm sorry. I'm just realizing we're going to pick a lot of favorites this week. And by a lot, I mean we might not stray to one dog, guys. We're going to have to figure that out. Moving on, though, we said Washington, Tennessee. You got to take Washington here. This is going to be a tough one for them. Tennessee, one of the best running defenses, and they are now playing without Brian Robinson's potentially going to play. We don't know for sure, though. I would assume, based on the fact that he tried to come back in the game and left, he's not going to be back in. And then Austin Eckler got concussed, so I doubt that he's going to be playing in this game. That's for the Washington Commanders. So that could become an issue with them. And I mean, they just got to bounce back from last week, right? But hey, I'll admit it. That, you know what they talk about with Cliff Kingsbury and that second half of the season stuff? Is Jayden Daniels hitting his rookie wall? Those two questions I think are bothering me the most when it comes to this game. So I will take Washington. Won't be shocked Tennessee wins. I just can't get myself to pick them. Houston Jackson, I don't think I've heard any news on Trevor Lawrence, but if the Jags win this game, then the Texans are just in free fall. The only reason Jaguars beat the Colts is because it was in Jacksonville. I mean, who's the other team they beat? I honestly can't. Damn, they beat the Vikings. Oh, no, I was about to say, they beat the Vikings. That was the Patriots. That makes sense. They beat the Patriots. So the two games the Jags probably should have won, or we would expect them to win, they did. So, okay. I don't think Trevor Lawrence is for sure starting. Desperate plea to Jaguars to keep. Nope. Peterson is encouraged by Lawrence's recovery. That still doesn't give us a answer, because then right after that talk about Jaguars still bracing the worst case scenario for Trevor Lawrence. By that I'm assuming they mean he might miss the rest of the season. I'm assuming that they might start C.J. Beathard this week as well over Mac Jones. Won't be shocked about that, but I ain't picking Jacksonville. Ain't no way in hell, boy. Rams, New Orleans. You know what? We haven't picked any dogs. I actually think the Rams are liable, or the New Orleans is liable dog here, but I can't. I don't think I can pick them. Aiden O'Connell confirmed starting for the Raiders against the Chiefs. So obviously he's healthy and ready to go. Man, I'm not going to lie to you. This Rams, I don't know. This Rams Saints game is tough. I just can't get myself to take the Saints, man. But at the same time, it's like, these are basically the two same teams, right? It almost feels like it. Man, I'm just trying to think. Saquon Barkley went nuts on the Rams, so that obviously didn't help their situation. Man, dude, I don't know. I genuinely might pick the Saints here. Well, I don't feel good about it. I just don't. We'll come back to that game in a minute. Tampa Bay, Carolina. Sorry for all the silence, by the way. I'm truly torn on that game. That game's tough. Tampa Bay, Carolina. This one not as tough. I will admit, Bryce Young has looked really, really good now lately in these last few games, but I still think that Tampa Bay should be able to overcome them. Regardless, Philadelphia. I'm shocked that many people are picking Baltimore. I might bounce back to the Rams and actually just pick Philly here. We might go small baby 3. I don't know. That Saints game, I will admit to you, I'm going to leave it for Rams right now. But don't be shocked if we talk about this game a week from now and we look back and I ended up picking the Rams, not the Saints. I just can't decide the game. I'm going to let that game basically be a last-minute one where I'm going to leave the point on it, like I said, 1 point, but that truly feels like very, very coin flippy to me. Then Cincinnati, Pittsburgh. Those are the two games where it's like, wow, I could see either side winning, especially with how shaky the Rams have been. But yeah, back to Baltimore, Philadelphia. I'm shocked that it's 80-20 pick distribution-wise on Philadelphia against. I mean, Baltimore's been good, don't get me wrong, but Philadelphia's also been pretty good. And this should be a really fun battle of the offenses. Losing Brandon Graham, though, for the defense, that sucks. How's the passing attack going to work against Baltimore, who's really good against the run, but not so good against the pass? Is Philadelphia able to get stuff out of their weapons? Is Devonta Smith back? A lot of questions to be asked. Man, that's going to be an awesome game, dude. Awesome game to end for. Oh, there's only 3 4 o'clock games. That's the third one. Woo-wee, that's nice. Then we go to Sunday night football. Buffalo Bills, San Francisco 49ers. Due to all the injuries, I just can't pick the 49ers. Brock Purdy comes back. I still probably won't pick them. The Bills have been really, really good lately. I just can't see myself not picking the Bills, especially coming off a bye, having 2 weeks of prep. Potentially getting some guys back with health, having a full 2 weeks to get Amari Cooper, like I said, back with health, and also get back into the offense to understand some things. I think we're going to go Buffalo there. I mean, that leaves us with Denver, Cleveland. I think we know where we're going here, right? Yeah. Denver all the way. I like how great their defense has been playing. Really like what I've seen out of Bo Nix. Him and Cortland Sutton. Been a fun combo. Now we will go over some tiebreakers, which came in very, very clutch 2 weeks ago when, if you guys remember, we had a 3-way tie 3 weeks ago. And I literally got second because I filled these out. I feel like I should have got first, but I don't understand why I didn't. But we don't need to argue about that. 24, we'll go 24-17. And then we'll go 28-17. We'll go 28-20. Why not? Who's going to score the most this week? Not Kansas City. We'll go... I don't know if Detroit's going to drop. Tampa Bay probably be a good one. We'll just go Tampa Bay against Carolina. And then who's going to score the least this week? I'm probably going to go with Vegas. Yeah, we'll go Vegas. I don't. That second tiebreaker, it's okay. Okay, so now we got to start signing some points. So what game am I excited about the most? So we got 94-6 Cleveland. Looking at some of these, see what people are doing. Yeah, so looking at our points, we've placed a few. We'll leave that 14. I gotta go 16 on the Chiefs against the Raiders. I know Aiden O'Connell's starting, but I mean, they just have no reason to mess around in this game, man. Especially coming off a loss. No, sorry, they didn't lose. That was 2 weeks ago. They were coming off beating the Panthers, keeping it close. Man, I don't know. I just can't get my... I'm just trying to think of somewhere else to put a 16. That's probably my best spot. We'll do 13 on Houston. In Jacksonville, just for the fact it's in Jacksonville, we might actually lower that even more. Washington, Tennessee. Tennessee has no reason to win this game, but I wouldn't be shocked if they did. Tampa Bay will go 15, even though they're on the road. I hate it already. Chargers will go 5-ish for now. That might change. Dallas, New York. I think I'd rather put a... Man, I'm running out of low numbers, people. This is more of a low number week than a high number week for sure. Colts will put a 8 on for right now. Minnesota, Arizona will put a... Dude, this is going to suck. I'm going to end with a lot of big numbers, places I don't. Well, want them to be... We'll put an 8 there. We'll put a 7 there. Miami, Green Bay will put a... I actually might make this my 7. We'll put my 6. We'll say the 6. I think I'm pretty... We'll bump this. We'll bump everyone down once. We'll go 8 there. 8 there, actually. We'll go 7 here, and then we'll go 6 here. Yeah, that feels pretty nice. Then we'll stick with... Man, we're taking forever on Pickem today. Your boy. Can't make up his 9. So we got 9, 10, 11 left. We'll just flip that. Buffalo, San Fran. We'll go... Alright, we're just going to move all these up one, I guess. We'll put a... Man, I really don't want to... Oh, we got to move some numbers around because I do not want an 11 on this game. We'll probably go 9. I really don't want to. Well, I'd rather put a 10 on the Colt or 10 on the Colt. All right, I will actually leave with that. I'll admit, I am not the fan of my big numbers this week, which sucks because this is either going to be a great week, amazing week for us, or this is going to be a very rough week. But this is what we're looking at pick-wise. Detroit, obviously, with our 14. 16 on Kansas City. 15 on Tampa Bay. Feel pretty good about it. So at least those high numbers. The 11, not too bad about the 10. A little bit nervous. A little bit nervous about my Houston with 12. But overall, I think this is pretty good for Pickem. Quick back overview for the season. Our goal... we just want to pass those people. We want to basically be set up for 4th where we're breathing down the necks of the podium. Because, man, week 12. Just finished up. We're on week 13. We got, 5 weeks left? 5 weeks to gain 37 points. Like our chances. But now it's time for us. I think we're going to head on back now to the... Sorry about that. There was something weird that just popped up. Let's head back to the gridiron now, and we are going to go over all of my bets and finish the breakdowns of these NFL games before we head over to college football. So like I said, time to break down some NFL games, go for some bets. We got some fun ones for you today. For sure got some fun ones. So we're going to start off with the Thanksgiving specials. There's 3 that I specifically like. But past that, I'm probably going to not take any other one. I don't know. I'm going to see if there's... I haven't looked since last night. But there's 3 that for sure caught my eye that I'm going to be interested in. Any defensive player to return an interception for a touchdown is plus 195. So you go... I mean, it's just... I mean, we're asking for a defensive INT at plus money for a touchdown. I mean, it's the fact that it's football, primetime, all that, anything can happen in these games, so I like that at 195, and the fact that it's plus money, it makes it even better. Any offensive lineman to score 1+ touchdown, I'm thinking more of the Lions game, where they might have something special for us to get. So to get this out of the, man, this hit first game, boy. But like I said, I do like the any offensive lineman touchdown, something special right there. Now, if you want something crazy, this is just a crazy one. I'm like debating if I even want to take it myself. It's successful 2-point in all 3 games. It's plus 7,000. I don't know. I'll be honest with you. If there is a reason it's plus 7,000. Yeah, I don't know. I saw that. I thought it was fairly interesting. So it's like, ooh, let me throw that onto my list. But like I said, so that's kind of the specials I'm looking at. I'm quickly just going to... we'll quickly peek at the Thanksgiving, see if there's any other specials, but I don't think they've added anything since I last looked. Yeah, they have not. So, perfect. We're all fine. So now we are going to head to breaking down these games, finishing that off. So, first game of the day, Lions minus 9.5. The Bears. I think this number opened up at 10.5 potentially. I cannot remember, but give me Lions minus 9.5. I think they find a way to cover this weekend. I think that they are going to be laying down the law. I mean, they treat every game like it matters, and they get up for a lot of these games. And like I said, we talked about earlier, they have some demons in these Thursday night again, damn it, 2 for 2. These Thanksgiving games, they have some issues in. So in the past at least, they were like 0-3 ATS. Last 3 Thanksgiving games, I believe. So I'm looking for them to get that shit right this week against the Bears, who have been better, but still not the best. Jahmyr Gibbs. We're going to take Gibbs anytime touchdown. Gibbs TD at minus 170. I like that. I'm also potentially going to take Amon-Ra St. Brown, David Montgomery. Both those guys are dealing with injuries, though, so I'm kind of scared off of them slightly. If I bet, probably have to take Amon-Ra over David Montgomery. I truly think there's a chance where David Montgomery plays for a little bit, doesn't. Like, he's in, gets limited snaps, doesn't play a lot. Or there's a chance he's just perfectly fine and he will play because they got the extra days off upcoming. But he is truly dealing with some injuries, so I'd keep an eye on Amon-Ra and him because of that reason. Because of that, though, let me see how many yards. Because I might take Tim Patrick's over just for the simple fact that I think that Amon-Ra, like I said, is dealing with some injuries. So obviously he's going to play, but yeah, I love that. Give me Tim Patrick over 21.5 receiving yards for Tim Patrick. Like I said, but due to the Amon-Ra dealing with some injuries, love that number. He's hit this number also over in the last 2 games. Jahmyr Gibbs at 19.5 might not be a bad play. Not going to take anything on Laporta. He's just been weird this year, so we're going to stay away from that one. Reception-wise, Tim Patrick or 1.5 is minus 156. That sucks that the odds are just so ass. I mean, like, that's what I'm talking about. Minus 2.5 or minus 184. Just make it 3.5, man. Like, damn. Yeah. Don't really got anything else. I don't think I'm going to bet on the Bears per se, so. I want to look at rushing props. That's what I want to look at. Jahmyr Gibbs. Over 71.5 rush yards as well. Because like I said, if they're dealing with injuries, I like the chances of Gibbs getting more carries than he did. Sorry, I got a text right as that happened, as I'm writing, so my brain's like, all right, write, read text, talk. Kind of hard to get all 3 of those things rolling at once. But yeah, that's what we're kind of looking at. Jahmyr Gibbs anytime touchdown. Lions minus 9.5. Jahmyr Gibbs over 71.5 rushing yards. Tim Patrick over 21.5 receiving yards. Yeah, that's probably it. I really don't want to take any Bears things. If I was, probably take Roschon Johnson anytime touchdown. That is at odds plus 250. He's been playing a lot more. But yeah, the way that the Bears been shaky. On offense, I mean, DJ Moore caught the first touchdown pass in like 165 pass attempts for Caleb Williams, I'm good. I don't want that Bears offense. Cowboys, Giants. Cowboys, Giants. We'll go Malik Neighbors TD after he kind of made a scene last week a little bit. Had to talk with Brian Daboll, so this is gonna go one of two ways. They're either gonna doghouse him, which they really can't do because they don't have a lot of players, or they're gonna focus on getting him the ball. So we're gonna take Malik Neighbors anytime touchdown. We're gonna take him over 67.5 receiving yards at minus 113. All this is man, I don't know who the quarterback is, so that's biggest reason why I'm probably going to stay away from a lot of these props is just I don't know who the quarterback's going to be for the Giants, so that could basically change up the game plan. I'm going to be all over Rico Dowdle stuff, though, I will say. It's just going to suck, I swear to God, if Jerry Jones plays Zeke, because Rico Dowdle finally got all the carries last week. We like Rico Dowdle stuff, though, so I'm just going to write him down. I don't know exactly if I want to fit him the score, get him on a receiving something. I don't know. I just like Rico Dowdle in this game. I think it's probably just going to be the rushing and touchdown, but we might take something else. But for that game, Malik Neighbors touchdown, Malik Neighbors over 67.5 receiving yards, and Rico Dowdle anytime touchdown. Cowboys money line, I guess, minus 180. I mean, the Cowboys money line is minus 180. What can I get minus 2.5 at? Cowboys minus 2.5 is 146. That's pretty gross. We'll take it. I think they should win this game by at least more than a field goal. Man, now my pen's dying too. Damn. Man. Give me a second, people. I had to grab a new pen. My pen was dying. But yeah, Cowboys minus 2.5 for that game. Malik Neighbors touchdown. Malik Neighbors over 67.5 receiving yards. Rico Dowdle, anytime touchdown or rushing yards, one of those two. I don't know for sure yet. We're still trying to figure that out. Packers 3.5 over the Dolphins. What is the Packers minus 2.5 at? What can I get that at? Packers minus 2.5 is minus 148. That I will never give you a bet that is longer than minus 150 because I personally won't take I hate betting minus 130, minus 140s. I just want to give out a good number because I'm not gonna. And I want to bet on this game, but I'm not gonna bet a shit number. I'd rather take the juice on the worst number. So we'll go Packers minus 2.5 at minus 146. Absolutely disgusting, 148. Absolutely disgusting, but if anything, I might just do like a Packers. What is a line? What is a Lions money line? Packers money line is minus 118. That's something I'm definitely going to keep my eye on. Josh Jacobs coming off 3 rushing touchdowns. I like the running backs in this game. Score touchdowns. So Jacobs is minus 175. So that sucks. So that's going to probably maybe be a fun little parlay add to the Nasty Boy. Thanksgiving Nasty Boy special maybe. Jacobs. So we like Jacobs and we like Achane for both TDs. Achane's at least minus 115. Like both those guys to score. Watch out for Dontavian Wicks at plus 290. If I'm assuming that I don't know if it's for sure been announced, but I wouldn't be shocked if it wasn't. No Romeo Doubs. So when Doubs is out, Dontavian Wicks seems to take a step up, especially after all the drops that, by all the drops, I mean the one big drop that Watson had last week. Be on the lookout for some Dontavian Wicks stuff. Passing-wise, both these quarterbacks throw over 1.5 passing touchdown. Tua is plus 122. Jordan Love is plus 133, minus 113. I do like Jordan Love to throw for 2 touchdowns. I think Tua can as well, but I probably won't be betting that one. Receiving-wise, Jonnu Smith is over 46.5. Very tempting. Very, very tempting. Probably take it. So we'll take Jonnu Smith over 46.5. I do like that number a lot. I think he's going to get about 50. I think he's going to get about 50 receiving yards, so I do like the number. And reception-wise, I want to look at Wicks' reception. Dontavian Wicks over 2.5. Do like that, but I hate the minus 168 part of it. Jonnu Smith over 4.5. I think he's about to get 4 for 50, 5 for 50 in that range. So I'm probably going to stay away from the 4.5 just for that reason, because I think that's about the number I got as well. So yeah, to recap our Thanksgiving. So for the specials, we got a defensive interception for a touchdown at plus 195. Any offensive lineman touchdown to plus 1,700. We got Lions minus 9.5. Gibbs anytime touchdown. Tim Patrick over 21.5 receiving yards. Jahmyr Gibbs over 71.5 rushing yards. We're probably going to take Amon-Ra to score as well. If Dave Montgomery plays, we'll for sure take him. I just don't know injury-wise, like I said, if those two are going to be full go. Malik Neighbors anytime touchdown. Cowboys minus 2.5. Malik Neighbors over 67.5 receiving yards. And Rico Dowdle anytime touchdown and rushing over or receiving over. I like I said, still fully undecided on Rico Dowdle. I just know I like either. I like his rushing and receiving. I'm just taking one, not both. Packers minus 2.5 is we're gonna take that. We're gonna take Josh Jacobs anytime touchdown and Devon Achane anytime touchdown. We're gonna take Dontavian Wicks. We're gonna look at his reception over and his what is it? Sorry, him touchdown. His receiving over, and we're staying off his reception just because minus 168 is an ugly number. And then we're going to take Jonnu Smith over 46.5 receiving yards. So that fills us up for Thanksgiving. Now we got a little bit of Black Friday action. Give me the Chiefs minus 12.5. Very curious to see. I probably won't take any props in this game. I'm going to watch live to see who's going to be the guy who gets involved. Because fuck it. Should we just take Noah Gray at this point? He scored 2 touchdowns 2 weeks in a row. We'll give him out. Why not? Chiefs minus 12.5. We'll take a Gray touchdown since he scored the last 2 weeks. Gray touchdown is plus 270. Don't mind that at all. Past that, Juju Smith-Schuster is plus 500. Might not be horrible. Shamondre Perine at plus 550 is not bad at all, especially if they get the third and goal situations. But Kareem Hunt, Isaiah Pacheco, man. Both are minus 170. Whoever's a starter, I like them to score. I probably will take Kareem Hunt regardless, though. When it comes to the Raiders, man, I think I'm just going to stay away. I do like the fact that Aiden O'Connell's in, but I just can't get myself to. I want to, if anything, it's Brock Bowers stuff, but because of how good he's been, everything's inflated. 6.5 receptions, 61 receiving yards. I'm good, man, especially with the guy who's just coming back off injury. There's no reason for me to take anything in the Raiders there. Chargers, minus 1.5 over the Falcons. I will be taking Chargers minus 1.5. Really do like Chargers minus 1.5. Bounce back. I like them to bounce back here. Like I said, we like tough teams against the Falcons have given the Falcons issues. I think the Chargers are a tough team. Losing J.K. Dobbins really does hurt, but Gus Edwards should be able to help them on the ground enough, especially coming off his best game of the season by far. And if Quentin Johnson can have a few more... if he just doesn't drop as many drops this week, it'll keep it a lot more competitive as well. It's just tough for him last week as well, but love the Chargers at minus 1.5. Because of that, I forgot. We're to the weekend now, so not all the props are totally up. Justin Herbert we'll take Herbert over 1.5 passing touchdowns as well, which is like minus 108. Because with J.K. Dobbins out, I like his potential to throw a little bit more, but like I said, I think Gus Edwards will be able to do just enough to help them out there. Colts minus 2.5 against the Patriots. Colts minus 2.5. Love it. Probably going to take find a way to get the money line, though, as well, since that's minus 146. Jonathan Taylor, rough. It's just been rough since AR's been back a little bit for him. I like him to score in this game. I think they'll find a way to get him involved a little bit more because they need Jonathan Taylor to be good. And past taking him and Anthony Richardson, I'm just not going to bet on the receivers. Because personally, and I'm not going to give anything out, because personally for me, I mean, their receiving room is a crap shoot, and not in a bad way. I mean, it's just... there's not that one dominant guy in there. You're like, oh, he's going to eat up all these targets. Last week was Michael Pittman's week. Week before it was Josh Downs' week. Week before it was Adonai Mitchell's week. They spread it out a lot, and no offense to Anthony Richardson. Love the kid to death. Love him as my quarterback. But with his completion percentage issue, and between that and the drops itself, Colts not having the longest possessions either, I mean, the props just get killed because they can't stay on the field. That's the biggest issue. But past that, I mean, I think we're good. Anthony Richardson over 1.5 passing touchdowns plus 162. That really sucks. I was hoping it'd be over a half. And then rushing prop-wise, Anthony Richardson over 42.5. Drake May over 26.5. Probably don't need to give out anything else in this game. Texans, 4.5 point favorites over the Jaguars. Give me the Texans minus 4.5. If they are a good team, they should win this game by 7. if they've been struggling like they continue to struggle, this 4.5 is going to be in danger. Damn near might not even cover at all. So I'm prepared for it not to cover, but realistically, the Texans should win this game, and they should win it by more than 7 if they're a good football team. I know it's a division game, but the Jaguars have not been good, and they've been, quite frankly, not competitive in a few of their last games. C.J. Stroud over 1.5 passing touchdowns is plus money. So at least if the Texans don't cover for us, C.J. Stroud over 1.5 passing touchdowns should give us a little bit of a boost and maybe get us that money back. I like Joe Mixon scoring that game. Probably like Nico Collins as well. Not going to bet anything on the Jaguars. Seahawks, Jets, stay away from me. If you put a gun to my head and I had to bet somebody, we'll take the Seahawks money line. But like I said, I wrote it down in red just to get it down on my sheet because if I had to make a pick, but I don't know. Feels like they should win that game, but feels very weird about it. Feel very weird about it. Steelers plus 2.5 over the Bengals, who are 2.5 point favorites at home. Steelers special, baby. Where's it at? Do they even have it out yet? I actually don't think they have it out yet. Oh, here we go. Cincinnati Bengals, Pittsburgh Steelers, plus 850 for the Steelers special. And for those of you who are new around here and don't know fully what the Steelers special is, it is for whatever reason, the Steelers have been really good. Second half team come out the gate very slow. So they're very good in the second half. So they're usually down in the first half, come back to win in the second half. So that is hit. The Steelers special is hit 3 times this year. If you bet $100 on it, you should be up about 1,600-ish right now just because the odds are so massive. This week is plus 850, so it's for the Bengals to win the first half. And you can find this under Same Game Parlay on that one book. At least this is on the book I'm at. That's where you find it at. It's first half winner, end of regulation winner. Like I said, Cincinnati Bengals to win the first half. Steelers to win the game plus 850. We're for sure taking that, and that's probably going to be my only bet in this game because I want to take Steelers plus 3.5 if anything. But if we're going to take the Steelers special at plus 850, I don't think I need to give out any other bets for this game. Russell, our passing prop wise, Joe Burrow over 1.5 passing touchdowns minus 156. I might bet him at like 3 touchdowns maybe. But with AFC North, but this is an AFC North game, so we don't need to bet anything else on it. Maybe take Jamar Chase stuff. Maybe take some Najee Harris rushing stuff. Past that, we're probably going to stay away from this game because, like I said, AFC North, no reason to mess around with it. Commanders, 6.5 point favorites over the Titans. I'm good. If I had to pick, this would be another one where it's like I guess I would take the Commanders minus 6.5, but I'm probably just going to end up staying from this game in total. Maybe take Terry McLaurin score, maybe. But with how pretty decent Tennessee's defense is, I just don't know. I don't like the chances of there being a lot of touchdowns in this game. So I'm probably not going to be the best prop game. Maybe we'll take some Jeremy McNichol stuff because of the injuries to Brian Robinson, potentially, who might not be playing, and to Austin Eckler, who in my opinion probably won't be playing at all. Vikings, 3.5 point favorites over the Cardinals. If I can get this at 2.5, I'll take it. If it stays at 3.5, I'm just going to stay away. I don't want to mess with this hook. Especially on the bit of a cold slide that we've been on. I don't really need to bet on this hook. Because of that, I'm going to stay away from props in this game because I can't figure out either of these teams. But I will say, with how quiet of a week Justin Jefferson had last week, look for Justin Jefferson to bounce back a little bit. So I'm going to write down that at least. Justin Jefferson, I like him to score a touchdown. Probably going to take his receiving over. And that's probably where we're going to leave it at. Maybe his reception over if it's a decent number. I just think they're going to get him a lot more involved this week after being completely taken out of the game last week. And past that, I don't want to bet anything on the Cardinals. I'm sick and tired of that team. Buccaneers, 5.5 point favorites over the Panthers. Give me the Bucks, minus 5.5. I just think between Mike Evans and Baker Mayfield to be able to get this done. Give me Mike Evans receiving over and give me Mike Evans to score a touchdown. Main reason for this is because of the fact that he is, to get 1,000 yards, I think he needs about 600, maybe it's like 570. He needs at least a minimum of 570 yards over these next few games. So I just think that he's going to get not hyper targeted, but they're going to target that boy to help him get over 1,000 yards. I do think that's something they're for sure going to get at. So I love his receiving over for that specific reason. I love him to score because he didn't score last week. Don't mind Bucky Irvin to score if you're going to pick somebody there. Don't mind Rashad White either. I mean, it's going to be... I see the Bucs scoring about 3 to 4 touchdowns this game, so I think between those, I mean, we're probably talking at least one running back, and then, yeah, one wide receiver for sure, and then maybe one tight end receiver running back there. Maybe Baker scrambles one in. I just feel like for sure there's going to be a wide receiver and a running back to score in this game for the Bucs. I just can't fully figure out who for sure, especially at the running back wise, and I just think that they get Mike Evans in that wise, so I'm taking that there. Rams, 2.5-point favorites over the Saints. We're just going to stay away from this game. I want nothing to do with this game. Very nervous about that. And we already got a shit ton of bets as well. Sunday, 425, Eagles +3. We do like that. We will take that. Eagles +3. We'll take the trio touchdown that we always take between Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown, and Jalen Hurts, with emphasis on Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown this week since they were out. Or no, especially since Jalen Hurts didn't score last week. And A.J. Brown for the fact that the Ravens are weak against the pass. Johnny Wilson at +1,000 might not be a bad play either. They've been looking at him in the red zone. He at least gets 1 or 2 targets a game in the red zone. So I think especially with the big body potential, Johnny Wilson might not be a bad play. Especially if Devontae Smith is still out. But yeah, for that game, I'm going to take Eagles +3, our trio touchdowns per normal, and then we're going to probably take a Derrick Henry touchdown, and then Johnny Wilson touchdown. Past that, man, that's going to be a fun game just to watch. Bills, 6.5-point favorites on Sunday Night Football at home. Give me the Bills minus 6.5, especially if Purdy doesn't play. If Purdy's back in, I'm not taking the 6.5 for sure. Touchdown-wise, take Allen or Cook. I think I'm going to take James Cook, but I won't be shocked if Josh Allen scores there. 49ers defense hasn't been the same. Just been weird. Packers rushed all over them last week, so I like for either of those two guys to potentially score there. Prop-wise, I'm not going to mess with any of those teams because of the injuries and all that. And then Monday Night Football, Denver minus 5.5. Give me that, baby. Denver minus 5.5. With no running game to be heard of, really, from the Broncos, I'm going to look for Cortland Sutton to have a good day in the air. I like some of his stuff. Him to score is +130, which is hilarious that he's the favorite over our running back at this point. That just shows how bad the rushing game is for the Broncos. Bo Nix to score a rushing touchdown at +350 might not be a bad one as well. And then for the Browns, I'm going to go probably David Njoku. David Njoku TD, probably go that way with that. And then I don't know what the numbers are going to be. It's going to be a while before we get all those officially out. So feel free to check. We do it weekly, baby. Check out Stare Down Sports for some Monday Night Football. And if you want my written down version of these breakdowns where I just give basically like a 2-3 sentence, maybe a little longer. We'll go like 4 or 5 sentences. It's basically like a 4 or 5 sentence like breakdown / how I'm viewing the game. If you want that version of it, Stare Down Sports, Stare Down Greatness. We're going to have that for you right there. But, man, that does it for NFL. Let's read over all the bets again real quick. Starting off with, we don't need to do the Thursday night games. We already broke down the Thursday night games twice. So for a third time, though, Lions minus 9.5. Gibbs anytime touchdown. Tim Patrick over 21.5 receiving yards. Gibbs over 71.5 rushing yards. Malik Neighbors anytime touchdown. Malik Neighbors over 67.5 receiving yards. Cowboys minus 2.5. Packers minus 2.5. Jacobs anytime touchdown. Devon Achane anytime touchdown. Dontavian Wicks anytime touchdown and receiving over. Jonnu Smith receiving over 46.5. Sorry, I just forgot to write down Wicks receiving over. Chiefs minus 12.5. Noah Gray anytime touchdown. And then we'll go either Kareem Hunt or Isaiah Pacheco, whoever's going to be one of those two. I just don't know what the injury situation's looking like fully just yet. Chargers minus 1.5. Herbert over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Gus Edwards anytime touchdown. Colts minus 2.5. Jonathan Taylor anytime touchdown. Texas minus 4.5. CJ Stroud over 1.5 passing touchdowns. The Steelers special. Bengals to win the first half. Steelers to win that at the end of regulation. Plus 850. Justin Jefferson anytime touchdown. Receiving over and his reception over. Bucks minus 5.5. Mike Evans receiving over and anytime touchdown. And then we will go Eagles +3. A.J. Brown touchdown. Saquon Barkley touchdown. Jalen Hurts touchdown. Johnny Wilson anytime touchdown. Derrick Henry anytime touchdown. 5 of them things for you. Bills minus 6.5. Josh Allen anytime touchdown. James Cook anytime touchdown. Denver minus 5.5. Cortland Sutton maybe to score a touchdown. And then, man, we're probably going to take some Njoku stuff. Look at Bo Nix to score. Man. So now it's time for rivalry week in college football. We got the game, Ohio State, Michigan. We got a lot of rivalries. I was about to go down a few more, but no. We don't need to do that. It's already been long enough. Let's just hop right in and go over some of these bets I have for this week. Like I said, now we're going to go over some college football, baby. Starting Thursday, man. Tulane minus 13.5 over Memphis. I just don't know how many stops Memphis is going to get. And to give us some college action, give me Tulane minus 13.5. They need to win this game to keep their college football playoff hopes alive. So I expect them to win this game. And biggest thing, like I said, I just don't know how. I don't know. Memphis is going to get enough stops. Oregon State plus 18.5. Boise State 18.5 point favorites. Boise's just played way too close with a lot of these games, and they're to the point now where they just need to win to get in to the playoffs pretty much. Man, Ashton Genty scored 3 touchdowns plus 120 is ridiculous. Wasn't going to give him out to score 2, but minus 270. Don't need to give out some bad odds like that. So, yeah, we're going to stay away from that game. Wisconsin, 2.5 point favorites over Minnesota. I want to take Minnesota money line, but I can't get myself there. I just can't get myself there. We don't need to worry about that. This line moved a little bit, but still not too bad. By the way, I need to read through all these games again because a lot of these lines have moved since I last looked. Colorado now 16.5 point favorites over Oklahoma State. I just think Colorado wins this game, leaves no doubt. They got to win this game. Must-win game for them to keep their college football playoff hopes alive. So I think they just win this game, leave no doubt. Miami of Ohio, 2.5 point dogs in Bowling Green. Give me Miami, Ohio on the money line. Plus 118. I'll give out the points though, but we'll be betting the money line. They need to win this game, I believe, to make the. Well, I can't remember if this will keep them out of the MAC or not, but I just know that regardless, this is still a very big game for them. Oh, man, I can't remember. We'll take a quick look at standings real quick. MAC. So, yeah, if Bowling Green wins this game, I believe they are in the title game. Winning this game's in the title game. That's a guaranteed, actually, looking at these conference records now, because Ohio is 6-1 in their conference. Miami of Ohio 6-1. Bowling Green 6-1. Buffalo 6-2. So, unless Ohio loses, which they are playing Ball State, not likely, in my opinion, that they lose that game. So, this is for the MAC. This is to make it to the MAC championship game. And I like the Miami, Ohio boys. We also have a future on them, so that might also play into this a little bit. So give me Miami, Ohio there. Like I said, Ohio 16.5 point favorites over Ball State. I'm actually going to take this now just for the fact that I think they are playing potentially to just make, like I said, another situation. Leave no doubt. They want to make it to the title game. I think if they win, they're in. Just leave no doubt. Win that game huge. East Carolina, 2.5 point favorites over Navy. Tempting, but no. Mississippi State's 26.5 point dogs. Ole Miss, nothing there for you. Colorado State, 6.5 point favorites over Utah State. Tempting, but I took it off my state. San Jose State's 2.5 point favorites over Stanford. I was really, really close to this, but I just couldn't get there. Georgia Tech plus 19.5. I'm going to write that in red. I don't think I'm going to take it, but this was just the fact that UMass kept it somewhat close last week. Georgia Tech, I think, is a bit more talented than UMass, but probably don't need to take that. We will be taking this, though. Nebraska plus 3.5. I'm just looking for them to keep this close. Just keep it close for me. I have no good reason to take that game other than the fact that I like them getting the hook there at the 3.5. Nothing on NC State, North Carolina. Nothing for UCF, Utah. Nothing Wake Forest, Duke. Illinois, 7.5 point favorites over Northwestern. The only reason they might not cover this game is because it's a rivalry game. Past that, I mean, if Michigan put up 50 on these boys. I like Illinois' chances to win this game and cover, so give me Illinois minus 7.5. Tennessee, 10.5 point favorites over Vandy. I'm just not going to bet Vandy anymore. We got enough money on them Vandy boys to be happy with, especially on 2 of their upsets. UMass 10.5 point dogs to UConn. I'm just not even going to. Nope. Not going to mess with that. Temple, North Texas, nothing there. UL, Monroe, Louisiana, nothing there. South Carolina, 2.5 point dogs to Clemson. Got nothing here. I just think that's going to be a fun game to watch. Michigan, 20.5 point dogs, Ohio State. We're going to write in red. I'm probably not going to bet this, and there's a good chance I for sure don't bet it. But Ohio State, minus 20. I just... Feels like it's their year, right? I don't know. I ain't going to do it. I will bet on this game, though. Army minus 6.5 over UTSA. I just love this Army team. They're playing to keep their college football playoff hopes alive as well. It's another situation of they're going to leave no doubt, be able to pull away late like they have in a lot of these games. Is Kansas going to finish running the table, or is Baylor going to make the ultimate funny? Kansas is minus 1.5 point favorite. Just basically how hot they've been. I'm just going to take them for that reason. Literally the only reason I'm taking them is because of how... just because of how close the cup hit. West Virginia, 2.5 point dogs to Texas Tech, nothing there. Notre Dame, 7.5 point favorites over USC. I am going to take Notre Dame here. I think they'll win this game big because they need to make college football playoff as well. And regardless, I won't be shocked if they don't cover. That's more of a fan bet, if we're being honest anyway. Florida, 14.5 point favorites over Florida State. Nothing there, but I won't be shocked by that game. Oregon, 18.5 point favorites over Washington. Not going to bet that game, but won't be shocked if Oregon covers there. By the way, this is just my first look through of this. Feel free to check out Stare Down Sports. Probably type this article Thursday or Friday. So look for it sometime Friday on Stare Down, where I will have all my college football bets. Because I'm about to, after I get off this show, I don't know if I'm going to do it today. Maybe do it tomorrow during the NFL games. But I got another breakdown I'm going through. And we're going to see if there's anything else I liked after I re-crunch some numbers, re-look through some stuff. But yeah. Going through the rest of these games, Arizona State, 8.5 points over Arizona. I actually do think that's doable, so I like Arizona State minus 8.5. I think they win and they're into the Big 12 title game, so that's another lot of don't leave any doubt this week. Missouri, 3.5 point favorites over Arkansas. I'm good there. Michigan State, 1.5 over Rutgers. No, thank you. SMU, 13.5 over Cal. I'm going to take this because I think that Cal had their Super Bowl last week, and by Super Bowl, I mean they just won a really, really big game, got the bowl eligible. You heard Fernando, we talked about it over here, 98-yard with the boys, one of the best moments of his life. So you hear a guy say that, it's like, all right, can they really get up and do it all over again next week on the road at SMU? So give me SMU minus 13.5 there. I think they'll win this by about 14-17. Nothing on Charlotte UAB. Man, we're only at 3 o'clock. Alabama Auburn, got nothing there for you. Miami Syracuse, nothing there for you. This is going to be an awesome game, man. Awesome game. Can't decide which side I'm on. Texas A&M. This is going to be a fun watch. I can't pick a side there. Very torn. Jacksonville State, our boys, they've been doing us great. A little bit later in the season, they're plus money on the money line. Give me Jacksonville State money line to win that game against Western Kentucky. I think they need a win and in for their conference situation as well. A lot of winning ends this week, baby. Wyoming, 17.5 point dogs to Washington State. We're sick of them. Man, I can't believe this game's at 7 p.m. Give me that by 100. IU minus 29.5. Give it to me. IU by 100. No, battle for the old Oaken Bucket. This should be, man, this is NIU shit. I was about to say, I might actually go to this game, but it's not at Purdue, it's at Bloomington. So, I don't think I want to drive 2 hours to go to Bloomington. No offense. Purdue. About 30, probably 20, 25 minutes from me. So that's a little bit closer than 2 hours. So, yeah, I'm not going to do that. But Indiana minus 29.5. If they win, they're in the college football playoffs. So, give me Indiana to win that thing. Iowa State minus 2.5 from Kansas State. That's going to be an awesome game. Winner. I think if Iowa State wins, they're in the Big 12 title game. Virginia Tech, Virginia, nothing there. James Madison Marshall, nothing there. UNLV, Nevada, nothing there. BYU, Houston, nothing there. San Diego State, Washington, nothing there. I do have a play on this game, though. New Mexico, last play of the weekend. We've been waiting all week for this. They already have some lined up for the SEC title game as well. They have Oregon as 3.5 point dogs. Ohio State, if they make the title game. Can't wait to get to that point. But we aren't there yet. Final bet of the day. New Mexico minus 2.5 over Hawaii. This is a New Mexico amazing win 2 weeks ago. We talked about on the show where they basically came back, stormed back to win it, and now they are 1 win away from bowl eligibility. I think they're coming in against Hawaii. Them boys going to give it their all. We're getting this number at 2.5. I love it. Like I said, New Mexico, I think they win this game by more than field goal to get themselves to go Bowling, baby. So that's going to do it for college. Quickly go over all my college bets. Tulane minus 13.5. Colorado minus 16.5. Miami of Ohio plus 2.5. Ohio minus 16.5. And no, not Ohio State. Ohio minus 16.5. Nebraska plus 3.5. Illinois minus 7.5. Army minus 6.5. Kansas minus 1.5. Notre Dame minus 7.5. Arizona State minus 8.5. SMU minus 13.5. Jacksonville State money line. IU minus 20.5. And New Mexico minus 2.5. Let's have a weekend, people. This is last regular season weekend of college football. Let's just spray the board and go crazy. There's a lot of games I can't wait to watch. A lot of games are going to be fun. Going to be a great sports weekend. And, man, shout out that boy Clayton, man. I need him to get over here and give me my goods. But thank y'all for watching. Thank you for all the support. I really do appreciate it. Hope everyone has a great Thanksgiving. Hope everyone gets to celebrate it well. Have some great times with the family. Just honestly hope everyone has a great time watching football. Gets, like I said, spend some time with the family. Let's have a great weekend, man. I will be appearing on Captain by Hook tomorrow around 8 a.m. Eastern. Look out for that on his channel, Captain by Hook. I'll leave the link in the description below. We'll be going over all these plays again. He probably go over some NFL futures as well. We talked about it. Man, that episode might be 2 hours, people. But thank y'all for watching. Thank you for support. Love everybody. I will see everyone back in this feed on Tuesday to react to the weekend that was in football. And man, we're going to have conference championship games that are going to be set.